Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. If you're in the market for a flashlight that's got a lot of features but isn't going to break the bank, you'll probably find that the Wurkkos FC13S might very well be the light for you. So let's take a closer look. Okay, so here we have it. We'll do a quick unboxing, I guess, just to show you what's in the box. The box is a very simple box. There's no kind of airs and graces about it, which is fine. You get a USB Type-C charging cable. You get some extra gubbins, so you've got a lanyard in there and some additional OS seals. A little bit of information telling you what to do first, just to make sure that it works. And then, of course, you've got your instructions in there as well. So for the light itself, we'll go, as we usually do, we'll go through some measurements, some materials, and then we'll have a look around the light. I'm going to try and mix this up, and we'll go into, the powers and stuff when we have a look at this in the dark, rather than kind of treading over the same material twice. But as far as measurements are concerned, it comes in at 113.7 millimeters by 29 millimeters, which will be its widest part, which is here at the top. I think it does come down an extra little bit in here, but if you take it to this, it's roughly an inch, which it pretty much is roughly an inch. It's constructed from aluminium, like a lot of these lights are, so it's also pretty light. As far as weight is concerned, without the battery in there, it comes in at just 77 grams, which is great. I think what you find with a lot of this aerospace, what is it? It's a 6061 T6 aluminium. It does make everything a lot lighter, but because it's that aerospace grade kind of stuff, it's also very tough. Now, as far as how tough this is for dust and water, it comes in at IP68. So they have tested for dust. So 6 is the dust and 8 is the water, 8 being the highest generally that you can get for consumer electronics. Now, I did mention on the back here, so this is powered by USB Type-C. You have a USB port in here. While it's charging, you can still use the light, which is great. And I will say the bung that fits into this is ridiculous. I think it's probably more than IP68 because of how deep that sits in there. You unscrew the head rather than unscrewing the tail cap, and I will say, unfortunately, this isn't a magnetic tail cap, although it is completely flat, so if you did need to tail stand this, it will tail stand. The battery that is on the inside is a Wurkkos 18650 battery. This isn't a proprietary battery. I've tried several other batteries in here and they all work flawlessly, no issues whatsoever. So yeah, if you do have 18650 is now the world's most popular battery, used the most, mainly because they're all in Teslas at the bottom of the cars, but generally if you're a flashlight enthusiast, you probably have a lot of these around. One of the features I really do like as far as the charging on this is concerned, you can charge it via this, so that you can charge this, but it also has the ability to reverse charge. So if you were to plug this in and then connect it to your mobile phone or another piece of electronics that you need to power, maybe in some emergency, then it will reverse charge, which I think most lights nowadays should really be doing. It's a great feature. Now, getting in a little bit closer, so you can see, it is an anodized finish on here. When you get to the end here, you can see straight into that reflector, and hopefully you'll be able to see that there is a really nice orange peel reflector in there. I also like the little accent that they've put on the inside as well, with that little kind of strip of orange aluminium in there, which again it's just a nice little feature. Now, as far as the LED module that's on the inside, it's an XHP50 version 2 LED. The color on this one apparently ranges between 5,000 to 5,700. I don't have the equipment to be able to test that, but I'd assume that with Wurkkos that's probably correct. The UI on this is fairly simple. It's all operated via the button here. There are some LEDs behind this button as well. So at the moment it's showing that it's green because it's on. But whilst it's charging, if it's at the point where it needs to have the battery to be recharged, it will give you indications through the LED behind the light just there. But it's a simple click on, click off to operate it. When it's on, it's then long presses to be able to cycle through each of the light intensities. Now it does actually have two types of modes. So the mode that it's in now is in its step mode, where it's got moonlight. There's an eco mode, low, medium, high, and then there's a turbo. But you can also put this into a ramping mode as well. So rather than it as you typically get, you can put it on to its low, you keep your finger on it, and it will go all the way up and then all the way back down again. For the purposes of this, I'm going to show you what it's like in the step mode, mainly because it's better to get an understanding of the different light levels that you get from it. There are some special modes on here, so you can do a long press whilst off. It's very difficult to see unless I bring it up like that, but this is now in its moonlight mode. When it's on, it does have a memory, so whatever the last mode was that you had it on, it will put it into that mode. So currently we're in low, long press, medium, sorry, it was in eco, long press, low, long press, mid, long press, high, and then you can do a double press at any point, which will then take it through to its turbo mode. You can also do a triple press from any point, so this will now put it into the strobe mode. The strobe mode is a variable refresh on here, hopefully you can see that, and then you can also double click. I think I just turned it off, I didn't click fast enough. There we go. So this is now in its SOS mode. Now the SOS mode does only use 400 lumens of the light, mainly so that you can use this SOS mode for as long as you possibly need to. You can then do another double press and it will put it into beacon mode. Beacon mode uses the 2500 maximum output that you can get from this. The strobe mode also uses the maximum 2500 lumens that you can get from this as well. Now, let's just fast forward and see how this bad boy works in the dark. Well, the sun's gone down, but the moon is right there. It's midnight and it's actually quite light, so we'll go through these settings, but you might find that because it's reasonably light you might be able to not see some of them as well as you probably would have done if it was a little bit darker. But so as I mentioned, so with this light you can have it on the ramping mode or you can have it on the step mode. Now we're going to have a look at it on the step mode specifically so that you can look through the different levels. At the moment we're on moon level, or the moonlight mode. Moonlight is it's classed as a special setting and is just 1 lumen. So you know, holding this out you can see what's on the floor in front of me, but when you've gone past maybe say 2 meters, yeah, you can't see much. But I do quite like moonlight modes. I tend to use these quite a bit when I'm trying to find things in the house, and maybe I don't want to wake up Mrs. Morlander. But then from there I can do then a long press. Now what I will say, so the moonlight mode on this, there is a memory setting, but it won't remember the moonlight. So actually if I turn this off, do a long press, so we're on the moonlight mode. If I then turn it off and then back on again, it won't remember the moonlight mode because it's classed as more of a special setting. Whereas after moonlight, you then have eco, low, mid, or medium, and high. So for a long press, or at least at the moment, you know, I have it on the low setting. So this is on the eco mode, which is 10 lumens, and it does a great job. 10 lumens from this really does seem like it's a lot more. In fact, so much so I almost feel as though I need to go through them just to triple check. So eco, low, mid, high. I was on eco mode. It's crazy how much light these 10 lumens actually create, but I think mainly that's because, you know, I'm just used to low modes being low rather than 10 lumens. Now we do have a low mode, so I can then do a long press, This will take me up to the low mode, which is 100 lumens, which is a great amount of light. Now if I stand here back on a little path again and point it up there, now you can start to see there's a little ornamental waterfall over there. The tree that's on this side, or at least on the opposite side of the lake, well, it's not the opposite side, but it's about 10 meters or so away. Normally wouldn't be able to see that, but it is quite light today, as I've mentioned. But low mode 100 lumens is really quite nice. Now as far as, actually let's take it up to the mid mode. So next one up is mid, which is your 400 lumens. But as I do with this, so we can see a warm spot or the skirt from the light as such. So I'm facing it right forward, 45 degrees to the left, back again, 45 degrees to the right. So it doesn't have a particularly well defined skirt on the edge, and the as far as the center spot, you can just see that there is a warm spot in there, but it's not what you class as a defined warm spot whatsoever. The orange peel reflector that's in this does a very good job of diffusing all of this light. In fact, I'm just going to come onto this little wharf here. So yeah, so what we were on mid, sorry, weren't we, which is 400 lumens. So being able to see that tree now is a whole lot easier. Over there, the little ornamental waterfall that you can probably hear. It's just rained a lot, so there's actually two lakes. There's one here and there's one just on the top there. So that's the water coming down there quite a bit. But now on the opposite side of this fishing lake, you can see those trees are a whole lot easier to be able to see. And there in the middle, there's a little ornamental kind of pond, island made from reeds. But yeah, I think for a mid 400 lumens, it's pumping out some good light. Now from mid, we can then go up to high. This is 1000 lumens. Being able to, over there, you can see that ornamental waterfall a lot easier. The light, or at least that tree there, so much easier to see. See up into the canopy now. There against the moon, it's so bright tonight. The opposite side, those trees over there are so much easier to see. They're about, say, maybe 20-25 meters away, roughly twice the distance of that tree. But there's also another tree just there as well, which usually we can't see, but we can with the 1000 lumens that you get from high. Now if you do another long press, it will then cycle back down to the eco mode, or if you want to get to the turbo mode, you can do a double press. Did I do it? Yes, I did. And now we're on the turbo, which is 2500 lumens, and it packs a big punch. It really does. I think with the orange peel diffuser on the reflector on here, it does a very good job of throwing out that light and just using it as to flood the area. That tree is so much easier to see. Trees on the opposite side, again, so much easier to see. Looking up into the canopy, if we get this in focus, yeah, we're back in focus again. It really does feel like a small light like this shouldn't be throwing out this much light. I think for a small EDC light, this is actually quite a big kind of punch as far as how much light it manages to produce. Genuinely, the Wurkkos FC13S might be one of the best EDC flashlights that I've tested this year. 2500 lumens, great. All with an 18650 battery, brilliant. Plenty of options as far as the interface is concerned, whether you want stepped or ramping. I think that the levels in which that it steps up for each of them is great as well. Moonlight mode, I really do like moonlight mode. Plus the ability that you can reverse charge with this. So in a pinch, you need to be able to make a mobile phone call and you need to give your mobile phone just that extra little bit more battery. There's a lot going for this, which is essentially a budget flashlight. Wurkkos have created a little bit of magic with this light. Now, just in case you don't want to believe me, have a search around. There's a lot of other amazing content out there on this little beauty. In fact, my good friend Dom from Max Level EDC has also made some content on this as well, so go and check out his review. I'll leave his links below as well so that you can see more from him. But thank you again to Wurkkos for sending me this light. I will leave their links below. I'll leave some of my social media links below as well so you can see more from me here on Moorlander EDC, and also my sister channel, Moorlander Tactical. But for now, as always, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. I'm expecting somebody at the front door in a second though.
Hello, 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 hello.
Oh, Mrs. Morland just finished in the shower. Now Mrs. Morland is mocking me while she's in the bathroom. Shut up, you! Filming! She said something that was disgusting that I won't repeat on camera. Anyway, hope it doesn't rain tonight. Need to go out and film this in the dark. Yeah. This might come out on a Sunday. I think this is going to come out on Sunday. If it's Sunday, I hope you're all having a good day. Yeah. Bye.